that.
It's like we knew.
Yeah, it is. It's like we knew coming to Toledo. Hey, everybody. Tarek Jafar from the Bluestones in the Reverend Guitars studio. Finally, right?
Yeah.
Just over from Windsor, which we can kind of see from the edge
if you
of the
like
lake.
squint really hard, you can probably see it.
Yeah.
I mean, you see Detroit, and then after you see Detroit, you just know Windsor's right there.
It is.
Yeah.
So you are embarking on a tour of the U.S. for the fall of, what is this, 2021?
2021. Yeah, the second part of the longest year ever.
And during all of this, yes, during the longest year ever, you and I met online, and we started talking about instruments, and I sent you a couple of guitars, and one thing led to another, and that brought you here, and now we're going to do the Reverend Guitars famous 12 questions. What do you think, Jeff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, Tarek.
Yes.
Give us a brief history of your playing career.
Okay. For the most part, self-taught. Started when I was 12. I took some guitar lessons, but it was mainly just like, hey, what tabs do you want to learn? Go home, learn them. You come back next week. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And then I just started to learn guitar on my own, play my own riffs, and didn't really start writing music until I was like 16. And then from there, I didn't really share any music with anybody until Justin, who's the counterpart in the band. And that was early university. So I've kind of playing guitar since I was 12. I've been playing piano since I was 7 or 8. My mom was a piano teacher. So
Wow.
bunch of different things infused in there, I guess.
Yeah. And how did the Bluestones kick in?
So yeah, I mean, Justin and I were high school buddies. We were actually on the high school football team together.
Wow.
We were
Canadian football?
Canadian football.
So there's an extra 5 yards in the middle of the field or something?
There's an extra 10 yards in the end zone, which I think is crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, I really hope I'm not wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it's an extra 10 yards in the end zone. Like, it's an extended end zone. And there's only 3 downs, or there's actually, I don't know, I know American football. I mean,
Yeah. Everybody wants to know, what positions did you guys play?
So Justin and I were both linebackers at one point.
Okay.
And then I switched over to running back, and I tore my ACL.
Ooh.
And that's it.
That was it. That was the end of that.
Yeah.
And then it was time to start the Bluestones.
And then it was time to start the Bluestones, yeah. So we started that in university, just kind of playing in my parents' garage, as most people do.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we just played locally and kept pushing for years and years until we kind of developed something that we are in now, which is great. Yeah.
What inspired you to start playing guitar to begin with? What made you pick it up?
My hate for piano at the time. That's what it was. Like,
fair enough.
Because my mom would push piano lessons on me, and after a while, you're a kid.
Yeah.
Now looking back, I wish I stuck with them, as you always do.
Yeah, there's a theory thing that you can learn with the piano that
course.
would be very helpful, right, as you're going forward. Yeah,
it's an amazing instrument. But at the time, I was a rebellious kid. Becoming a teenager, I wanted to play guitar. I wanted to play electric guitar. Yeah. So I didn't even want to play acoustic guitar, because I remember being in high school and all the guys would bust out an acoustic guitar. They'd be like, look how sick I am. But I wanted to play the electric guitar and learn the songs I wanted to learn. I was a rock kid, so.
I feel the same way as you about acoustic guitars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
kindling.
I don't know.
Kindling is what. They're good for campfires.
They're kindling.
Kindling.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're done your set, you just place it on the.
We have electricity now, so it's like going back.
Use it.
No, and I think everybody wants to play something other than what their mom wants them to play.
Yeah, that's.
Because my mom also wanted me to play piano, and I didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Now Penny, who runs the business here with me, her mom wanted her to play violin, and she went to piano and stuck with piano.
See, yeah, and you just
whatever it is your parents want you to do, you're like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, you rebel against it.
So what was your first electric guitar?
It was, I think it was one of those Barracudas. I think it was called. It is literally $80 and probably 90% plastic.
Yeah, and it worked.
And it worked.
I mean,
it
you got
worked.
the job done for a long time.
Absolutely. And then I had just one of those little mini practice amps, and I was just playing on that. And then I moved to an Ibanez. I can't remember the exact model because I don't know Ibanez very well, but it's 320.
Nice.
Yeah. And then from there it went to Les Paul.
Okay.
And I stuck there for a little while. Yeah.
Also had Ibanez guitars when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it was like.
No.
They were really popular when I was.
Oh sure.
In high school, at least.
I still have them. as people who follow this stuff know. But, I mean, they make great instruments.
Yeah.
Everybody makes great instruments now. I mean, see, I'm 50. How old are you? Can we ask?
30. Yes, yeah, I'm 32.
32. When I was a kid, all instruments were garbage unless you spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like now, the beginner guitars, I mean, $200-300 guitars are fine guitars to begin with. You know what I mean? And when I was a kid, you couldn't even set up a $200 guitar. You know, so it's amazing how, you know, technology with the CNC machines and all that stuff has come. I don't know where I went to. I just got off on a whole thing. We're going to shift gears completely.
Go for it.
And here it comes out. Now, you're not allowed to think about this question too long, okay? You have to just kind of spit it out, because if you start thinking about it, you're going to second guess yourself.
It's freak me out.
You ready?
Right, yeah, go for
Top 5 favorite records.
Oh, no.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Odd Soul by Mute Math, Rubber Factory, Black Keys, Rush of Blood by Coldplay. Then I'd have to say, oh my God, Black Album, Jay-Z, and Graduation, Kanye West.
Nice. He did it just like that, too. Yeah.
Those are the things that just came to mind.
No, that's
I wanted
perfect.
to play your game.
No, no, it's all good. Yeah, usually people are like, well, I don't know if I had to pick. No, don't go that far into it. No. What is the proudest moment so far of your performance and playing career?
The proudest moment, there's been a lot, which is awesome, you know, because Justin and I kind of, you know, we started this ourselves, and we try to still do everything ourselves. So even something as simple as somebody singing our lyrics back at us at a show, like that makes me feel very, very proud. There's really nothing quite like that.
Yeah.
Proudest moment, oh, it's really hard to narrow down, I gotta say. You know, I'd have to say when we played, it would have been England for the first time. We played London, and we sold out this venue.
Oh, that's
and
great.
We go to play this like awesome little basement venue, and literally I think I sang 10% of the time, and the rest of the time everybody else was doing the singing for me.
That's
and
great.
that, like, that was probably it. That's at top 3 moments of my life.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How did you hear about Reverend?
So I heard about it through a friend in the industry of mine, Ramon, plays with Grandson. And I remember we were on tour with him, and I was struggling with the guitar company that I was touring with, and he was like, "Man, you gotta look at this, like this new guitar company." Well, new to me, right? So you gotta check these guys out. They're really, really good to their artists, and like their guitars are awesome. Then he kind of showed me his lineup, and I was like, "Wow, these look pretty great." This was going about 1.5 to 2 years back. Then, you know, for a while I just sort of let it simmer, and I can't necessarily remember the exact moment that you and I started chatting, but the Reverend lights were kind of flickering before that in my mind. Like, man, you know, maybe I should check out the Reverend Guitars, and lo and behold, the universe just kind of threw us together.
And the next question is, what Reverends are you currently using now? I know you're using a roundhouse that we installed Railhammer Hyper Vintage pickups in.
Yeah.
And that's sort of that's the go-to.
Yeah, that's my go-to.
And then we got you Double Agent OG.
Yep.
In Silver Freeze. We also put a Hyper Vintage bridge pickup in that. And then you were here with us today, and you're picking up this the Warhawk. And this is a Warhawk DAW, and this is your first trem guitar.
Yes.
So he is going to be on the road learning how to use the Wilkinson VS50.
Yeah.
And we installed the Hyper Vintage pickup for you on this as well.
And it's a beautiful guitar as well.
It is. Thank you very much. Yeah, Silverburst is just a cool classic color, man. And this is. We also got involved in a little project with your management where there were some giveaways. We gave away one of these guitars with this setup on it here in the States. And we're giving away one in Canada and one in Europe later in the year and next year, as well as you guys tour the new release in those areas.
Yeah. People are constantly commenting on the guitars as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, especially the Double Agent too. It's just got a coolness. I don't know what it is.
That body style has been associated with us for a really long time. So I think it's one of the things that just people look at. And same with the Roundhouse. I mean, the two body styles are similar, and I think people look at that offset waist and associate it with what we do. So what specifically do you like about them? I know I'm putting you on the spot. Yeah.
Honestly, I like how light they are. I know it's a weird thing to comment, but I'm so used to playing heavy guitars because for whatever reason I associated heavy guitars with a heavy tone, like a thick tone. And for me, being in a duo, I kind of need that.
Yeah.
But the beautiful thing about Reverend is you have these light bodies and they still put out these low, powerful tones, you know? And that's the one thing.
Yeah.
I was actually, I gotta be honest, I was a little scared to make the jump because I was like, I don't know, I've been used to these guitars for so long. I don't know what the Reverends are gonna be like. But then after playing the Roundhouse, like I was like, okay, we're fine.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So what's your amp and pedal setup when you're on the road?
So I play a dual rack Roadster.
Okay.
So it's a Mesa head, and I play just the standard 412 cab that they have. Pedal wise, I run with quite a bit. I use like a ZVEX double rock.
Okay.
It's that's like my go-to distortion pedal. I also, what else do I have on there? I've got like a Holy Grail reverb, a lot of electro-harmonic stuff. Canyon pedal. I just got a Strymon Timeline.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that pedal. I think I've only entered like, 5% of what you can actually do with those pedals.
Yeah, the Strymon stuff, there's so many features and they're so well made. I'm using one of the Digidelay
Okay,
in
yeah.
the band that I'm in, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Workhorse stuff.
And substantial amount of just tweaking that you can do, right? Like you can really dive into those pedals.
That stuff scares me.
Yeah, me too.
As I sit here with like all this stuff sitting in front of me or whatever.
Me, just
but I know, but I really
electrics.
like knobs. I really like to just like I want a little
Tweaking.
more of this and just be able to turn the knob and stuff. But I very rarely sit and experiment. Like, the guys that work for me are pedal like maniacs.
Okay.
And really get into the stuff. And we have a pretty good relationship with Earthquaker. I don't know if you've ever screwed around with any of their stuff.
I don't think
They're
so.
here in Akron, Ohio. I'll show you what they got.
Okay,
going.
yeah, that sounds good.
But yeah, man, there's so many interesting things out there.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
again, now here's another question. You just got to answer it.
Yeah.
Do you have any unusual hobbies or skills or anything that you'd like to tell us about outside of this world? Don't think about it.
So many people don't know, like I'm actually a fully certified physical therapist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's something that while I was in school for that, everything was picking up with the band. So I just so happened to finish that degree and all the testing for it right before everything kicked off with our first album. So I do that.
So you guys take really good care of yourselves on the road.
Yes.
And you're stretching before every show. And
Well, I don't know about that. Like, I don't think I probably do. I probably should. It's like every doctor will tell you to do something and then like they don't do it.
Right.
But yes, I don't think that we're a typical sort of rock and roll band.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for up and coming players?
Yeah, I think the best piece of advice that I took was just start by playing the songs that you really want to play, because whether it's like finding tabs or actual like sheet music, you'll want to play it, right? So you find a song that you really want to play, learn how to play it, and then if you're really serious about it, then get a good teacher, Yeah. I kind of think the same thing about golf. Like if you're serious about being good at golf, get a golf teacher. Spend the money and get a golf teacher.
My guy just got real excited.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff behind the camera is an avid golfer.
You know what's funny? I go around and people like hear that I play golf. They're like, yeah, we should hit the green sometime. And I'm like, no, like I'm awful. I'm going to embarrass myself. Like I like golf. I'm not great at golf. There's a difference.
Do all Canadian bands play golf?
A lot of Canadian crew plays golf.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get that.
And particularly a guitar tech that I work with in Canada is an avid golfer, and he's very, very good. He's like what you call like a scratch golfer.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that the term?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to do a lot of work with the Tragically Hip, and we would always go to sound checks with guitars and stuff like that, and we would show up at sound check and they would be late, and they would all come walking in with their golf bags. Lay their golf bags down on the stage, pick up their guitars, and it was like kind of a running thing with us, you know. And the one time that I got to meet Alex Lifeson from Rush, it was because he was golfing with the guy from the Tragically Hip, and he hooked that up for me on the golf course. So in my mind, Canadian bands golf. Also in my mind, 40% of Canadian men are named Gordon because of the Tragically Hip.
Yep. Yeah, especially you go like a little bit north Ontario, you get a lot of Gordons.
Yeah.
Gords, Gordy.
Gordy, yeah, for sure.
I'm not sure about Gordy.
So let's get back to the Bluestones. What do you have upcoming? I mean, right now you're here on a tour.
Yep, in the midst of a U.S. tour. So really hitting all the major states and cities, aside from Philadelphia, which we feel really bad about, but can't hit them all, I guess. But U.S. tour, After that, probably going to go back and record some new music, and then we start a Canadian tour in February 2022 with The Beaches. Have you heard of this band?
No.
Canadian band, all-female rock band, fantastic. We're going to be supporting them, and then in Europe.
Oh, awesome! I got to check that out.
Yeah, really solid.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Okay. And then Europe after.
And then Europe right after. Yeah, I think we have a week in between.
Are you out on a new release?
Hidden Gems. Yeah. So I guess this was the album that was released kind of mid-pandemic.
Okay.
We were really sort of reserved about releasing it, but then we finally said, you know what, let's just put it out there. We can't just wait any longer. So we released that back in March of 2021.
Nice.
And I'm finally able to tour it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, which has been really, really great, playing all these new songs live.
And you're here after the first night. So how was the first night?
It was awesome.
That's
yeah,
great.
I have to say, it's such a nice return to live music. Like, people are raring to go, you know? Like, crowd has been, you know, they've never been so responsive and, like, reactive to the music, and I really, really appreciate that.
Awesome.
It's a little awkward with, like, the COVID protocols, but, you know, we're making the best of it.
Yeah, no, we just got to do what we got to do to get the live music venues up and running again. And
yeah, I'll do whatever that is.
A lot of them close, and I don't want to see any more of them close.
Yeah, that's,
you know, and
yeah, it's a shame, right?
Yeah,
you know, I was even talking to Jeff about some of the ones that were unfortunately had to shut down, and it's just the same thing on the Canada side of things too. Some legendary venues.
Anything else you want to share with everybody?
No.
No?
I think you pretty much hit most of it.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming in. You know what? Let's how'd your little
Sure. Yeah.